The legislative process for the return of 5,825 acres of land in Mayaguana is now complete. Senators passed the bill last night, finalizing a new deal between the I Group and the government, significantly reducing the size of the resort development and returning precious waterfront property to the Crown. More than half of the 9,999 acres granted to the developers back in 2006. Though the bill was unanimously passed, there were criticisms of the events which led up to this point, like the Stop Review Cancel retort, which the Progressive Liberal Party is linked to many of the projects started under its administration. Opposition leader in the Senate, Alyson Maynard Gibson, repeated the charge.
The 250-room hotel, Madam President, could have been started and finished. The airport to accommodate 737s as it's required in the letter could have been finished. And the 19-room boutique resort at the North Shore could have been started and possibly finished. Madam President, thanks to this government's short-sightedness, the people of Mayaguana have suffered for more than 3 years. The people of the Southern Bahamas have suffered for more than 3 years. And what was full employment in Mayaguana and in the other islands in the Southern Bahamas, from where people went to work in Mayaguana, unemployment, full employment, there is now more than 50% unemployment.
Tourism Minister Senator Vincent Vanderpool-Wallace responded by pointing out that it was the developer who opted to exercise a provision in the agreement putting development on hold, citing the economic slowdown of 2008.
Every time they start talking about the government stopped it, we have the evidence to say, and I'll go through it point by point if anybody wants to talk about it. The evidence is there where it was stopped by the president and chairman of Mayaguana Management Company Limited. And here's the other thing they don't say. The other thing they don't say is the board of this company was dominated by them, not by us. So they had 3 members on the board, we had 2. So whenever they decided that they wanted to suspend development, they could invoke this force majeure clause that's here that says any adverse change I can stop. So when somebody comes and represents to us that the government stopped it, we didn't need to stop it because there's lots of evidence here to say that it was stopped by the developers.
There was one thing that both sides agreed on, that the return of the 5,825 acres of land to the Bahamian Land Bank would bode well for the country. But Senator Michael Pintard said when compared to the F&M administration, the PLP took more land out of the hands of Bahamians.
In 2007, the discussion was between the F&M and the Progressive Liberal Party who sold the most land. And I'm just suggesting, Madam President, and I'm prepared to withdraw, reconfigure my statement to anchor this point. The Progressive Liberal Party won the battles hands down. They have sold more land than the Free National Movement.
Senator Michael Halkitis was also among those contributing to the debate. He said for years the Bahamas has followed the economic model of Sir Stafford Sands for the Bahamas, which promoted foreign direct investment. He said now we must focus on the real issues.
We here in the Bahamas, those of us who are serving in this place and that other place, must concentrate our minds and focus our minds on the reality that we need to create 40,000 jobs for Bahamians. 40,000 jobs we need to create to wipe out unemployment, underemployment, and discouraged, not to wipe out the workers, but to wipe out that, that discouragement.